Alright, I'm going to try to film as much of this as I can before my battery dies, but I'm going to go ahead and go in and do some of the adjustments that I need to do with the scope. So I need a dual trace oscilloscope, which I have. I'm going to use mini grabbers to connect to the test points. So I'm going to take the red one, go to test point 6. This is for slip B. Test point 6 is right here. The black one will be test point 7. And it's right next to it. And then what I'm going to be adjusting are variable resistors 1 and 2, 101 and 102 right here. So I'm going to adjust 101 for slip B. So 101 adjusts TP6, 102 adjusts TP6, 101 adjusts TP7. It's like they're backwards. And I'm just going to clip my oscilloscope leads to these, and then I'll grind it. I think my mental battery's running down too. I'll ground it to this grounding point here. I'm going to have to put this on some boards though, since I don't have feet. So I don't know quite how I'm going to do that. I may have to put some boards in a couple of strategic spots to get this to where I can access the bottom and still adjust it. So that's what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to adjust the square wave per the service manual. I may have a copy of it printed up here. After I do this, I'll explain to you what I did. If I reposition the camera, I'm not going to really be able to do this. So if I can do that, I will. But let me try this out real quick. Okay, so here's what the alignment procedures are trying to get you to do. So watch when I move the tone arm, and I had to change the trigger point on my oscilloscope, and I had to take it from AC coupled to LF or HF. So if I move the tone arm, notice how you see an ugly square wave, but it's kind of sort of a square wave. If I move the buttons to move the tone arm, you can see the square wave. Now when I hit the back button, it doesn't come up, but basically that wave, see how it's almost on top of, the square wave is almost on top of each other. So there should be, let me show you the alignment procedure here. I'm trying to do this with this on the tripod, but you can kind of see how the two square waves should be aligned to each other, right? So right now it's not even close to being that way. So I need to go in and align them per the instruction manual, or alignment procedures, by, zoom out a little bit, by turning those two variable resistors. So let's see if I can do that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get underneath this with a flashlight and see if I can do that while filming and doing everything else. And I'm almost out of battery, as I've said about 10 times now. So if it just drops off, that means I ran out of battery, but I'm still going to continue to do this, and then I'll just swing back around when I'm done. Okay, I've got it mostly aligned, but it's still kind of acting weird. So I want to show you kind of where we're at now. So turn it on. It's still moving the arm a little fast, but now I can at least kind of get it into position, and I can turn the motor on and off now. So I think we're making progress here. You know, I don't have a repeat button. I don't have it on my 65 either. And up and down works. I still don't have a stylus on here. It's just a cartridge for weight. So up and down work. It's just, it's moving fast. So I've got to figure out if there's some kind of horizontal speed adjustment. Now I have not looked at some of the mechanical adjustments, which I'm going to look at now, like some of the things I can just move with my hands. So I'm going to do that and talk about that. I'm still trying to eke out all the battery life I can. So again, if it just shuts off, I will pick up where I left off. So the bottom is still off of this, so let's see if I can get this in a decent position and look at what might be going on. So what I'm really unsure about is why the tone arm is moving so fast. Again, on my 65, one of these wires had become disconnected, and it's a part of that circuit. I don't see any disconnected wires here. I guess I could just test this for sound and see if I get sound. You see how you have tone arm wires coming into, you have tone arm wires, then you have like what I guess are like some kind of position sensing wires somewhere. And then it says you can adjust this board, but I have no idea what that adjustment looks like. Let me make sure it's good. Make sure all these slats are clean. That could be a problem. So these are the slats that I'm referring to, or slits, I should say. And they're clear there. Now if I take the tone arm off its rest, we can look at these to make sure these are all clear. Yeah, they're all clear. My head in the way? Probably. They're all clear. And my battery's just about to go. So I'm going to have to fart around with this and let you know what I did when I'm done. Okay, I'm back to the X75. So here's, as the camera was charging, and it was yesterday, so this actually spilled over into my Monday, but I really hope I'm close on this. Just want to show you what it's doing right now. So if I plug it in, it's not locked in, turn the turntable on. If I hit start, I know it's off screen, I had to kind of position some blocks here so I could get underneath this and do some work. So if I hit start, you see that the tone arm's moving faster than it should, but it is going into kind of sort of the position it should be in, and then at the end of the record it will lift off and come back, but it's coming back too fast. Okay. Now on the PSX75, when that happened, it was a broken tone arm wire. So, and I'm going to flip this over and explain to you what's going on with this. But, you know, this is one of those things where you get into this, I know what the problem is, right? You get stuck on a problem. So right now, I really do think it's probably a broken tone arm wire. And I'll explain to you where I think that might be when I flip this over. Now, what have I done? When the camera was charging, I really haven't done much but kind of poke and prod. I do believe I have the waveforms dialed in, and I will shoot some follow-on video just to show you what that looks like. Hopefully I'll remember to do that. I also replaced the LEDs. These were really dim. These were really dim. I should have a third one here somewhere. It probably fell off my bench. Yeah, here's the third one. So these were really dim. I replaced them with some brand new ones that I have. That did not solve the problem. So what I'm going to do next is take this platter off, and I'm going to have to, if I don't get this wrapped up today, I'm going to have to move on to another project so it'll sit for another week. This thing's really dirty. But let me show you where I suspect the problem is. You can see I've got the scope probes connected because I was looking at something on it. Get this in a better position. So let me take these off. Take that off. All right. See if I can zoom the camera in here a little bit, and excuse me while I try to finagle my mount here. Yeah, I probably won't be able to easily, but we're going to be looking at this board, this green board here on the left-hand side. Man, there's just no easy way to do it. I'm going to move the camera.